At the National Centre for Earth Observation, particularly here at the University of Leicester, what we specialise is high quality data. These data sets can cover any domain, atmosphere, ocean or land, but in many of these domains, particularly land, we see an increasing drive to high quality, well processed data using really rigorous algorithms. On the land surface, for example, we specialise in land surface temperature, in forest products like biomass or change of forest cover, but we also use optical sensors and radar sensors to incorporate directly into models, which is another way of using the land surface data effectively. So one really exciting thing about this is it's driving us to produce algorithms which will enable better products, to think more carefully about what those products mean, to characterise them, and to validate them, to prove, if you like, what the uncertainty is in those products. When you have well characterised products, you can use them with much more confidence. You can also integrate them with models, and one of the specialities of our research is bringing data and models together in a process we call data assimilation. A couple of examples of what we do well: land surface temperature, something we've actually been able to show can be measured accurately such that it can be used for climate studies. We've led the international effort to get land surface temperature declared as an essential climate variable. We've also been instrumental in bringing new measurements of biomass to the observing portfolio. So Professor Quigan from Sheffield University is the lead scientist on the ESA mission Biomass, which will launch in the early 2020s. So we've, in our products and in our research, managed to think not only about how good the data is that we can produce currently, but really drive towards new missions. And we see the new Sentinels, for example, as providing important data sets for the next generation. It's a pleasure to have the ESA Land Remote Sensing course here in Leicester. One of the important things I think about any course, and I remember my own attendance such courses, is the information, the exposure to techniques or elements of algorithms or applications that I wouldn't have thought of, that wouldn't perhaps immediately have been useful in my research, but over the successive decade, 2 decades, has become actually very relevant to the research I've done. So that exposure to a broad range of land sensing is actually particularly important in a world where the land surface is complex. Often our research is very dictated by the conditions of which our research occurs. That means, in other words, that we have to characterise not only the variable we're interested in, which might be vegetation index, but understand the soil, the moisture, the transpiration, all those effects that come together to govern the results that we see. So that's one very good thing about a course. The second thing is the networking, the people you meet on courses like this who are interested in the same subject as you, but come from different perspectives. They are able to guide your research, they're able to share their thoughts, they're able to inspire you, and they're able to be your colleagues for the next stages of your career. So very important. And I wouldn't want to neglect either that there's a very important factor here. Being run by an international space agency teaches you a lot about how a space agency works. It introduces you to the people who are involved in that agency, who are able to bring into being satellites that can provide next generation measurements, and are also thinking about how to make the data that are currently produced more accessible and easily usable. All in all, a tremendous playing field for anyone who wants to take part in a course like this. So I wish all the participants in the course very well, and indeed participants in the next courses to come. I hope they take away a very clear message about the power of land remote sensing, but also the challenges, because it's in the challenges that you discover new things. I always tell my students, that's fine if you've seen something that somebody else has seen before, but tell me what doesn't agree, tell me what's different, because that's where we're going to learn something new. I hope all of you have learned something new, and I hope all of you will be able to use this to give yourselves a successful start to your careers. Thank you.